Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. So a few weeks ago I made a video discussing when is the next iteration of Ben 10 going to be revealed, and we actually received an update from Duncan Rouleau on what is happening with Ben 10. Ozio on Twitter asked, "I have one question, what's next for Ben 10?" And Duncan Rouleau responded saying, "I can't talk about it, but Cartoon Network has plans that they are working on right now. Hopefully some announcements will come by the end of the year." So yeah, Cartoon Network is working on the next iteration of Ben 10 right now, which is something that I said I believe that they were doing in my last video. In my last video I said I assume that Cartoon Network is currently working on what's next for Ben 10 and we just don't know what's happening. But a few interesting things come from this Duncan Rouleau tweet. First of all, he's saying hopefully we'll get an announcement by the end of the year, and what kind of announcement will that be? Will it be a full-blown trailer with the poster and everything and we know when Ben 10 is coming back with a concrete release window and all that stuff that you usually get with the show announcement? Or will it be more so on the lighter side, where we just get a press release saying, hey, a new Ben 10 series is in development and it's going to be taking place in such and such timeline? I would say it's probably the latter. I do not think we're going to get a full-blown trailer for it. I do not think we're going to get even a poster for it. I think this is probably so early in development that we're just going to get a press release saying, hey, Ben 10 whatever is coming back, this new iteration of Ben 10. If it's a return to the original continuity, a continuation of the reboot continuity, or something new entirely. I don't think they're gonna go show us, hey, this is what Ben looks like now in this show. I think it's just gonna be very basic, just a regular press release, and that's it. Maybe at most we'll get some concept art for it, but I think it's probably just gonna be a press release and then they'll say, hey, it's coming sometime in the future. I don't think they're gonna give us a concrete release window, but if it's being worked on now and there's an announcement potentially coming by the end of the year, then when would this show be releasing? I probably put my money on fall of 2022, given that this show we know wasn't decided on back in January. They probably are in the early stages of development still, so I would say the earliest is probably the fall of 2022, maybe the latest like spring of 2023, but if I had to put my money on it, I'd say the next iteration of Ben 10 is probably coming sometime in the fall of next year. And one final thing that I think is of note in this tweet is he says Cartoon Network has plans that they are working on right now. Cartoon Network. He doesn't say that they're involved at all, which I find interesting. I would assume that if, Man of Action was working on this next iteration, he would say, yeah, we're working on this right now. We can't say anything, but we're working hard on it. But no, he says Cartoon Network is working on it. So that makes it seem like Cartoon Network cut out Man of Action for this next iteration of Ben 10, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Back in January, I was making a video, which I'll leave a link in the description below, where I was saying that, based on Duncan Rouleau's comments, it seems like Cartoon Network and Man of Action have some creative differences when it comes to their vision of what's next for Ben 10. And this tweet here kind of builds onto that, saying that, yeah, Cartoon Network's working on it, but I would assume if Man of Action was working on it, Duncan Rouleau would just say, yeah, we're working on it right now, but instead he says, no, Cartoon Network is working on it, which makes me think that Man of Action is not involved in this next iteration of Ben 10. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, oh no, this is bad, whenever a creator is not involved in the next iteration of a show, it turns out bad. And I would say, not necessarily. I mean, look, Ben 10, Man of Action was heavily involved in the original Ben 10. They weren't as involved in the development of Alien Force Ultimate Alien and Omniverse, and arguably, in my opinion, I think that Ben 10, Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien are the best iterations of Ben 10. And now Man of Action, like I said before, they were heavily involved in the original. They were also heavily involved in the reboot, and we all know how that turned out. I know some people do like the reboot, but a lot of people don't like the reboot. What I will say, though, to the defense of Man of Action with the reboot is I do think that there was a lot of network meddling involved there. It kind of, to me, seems like one of those situations where it's like, either you do what we say or we're going to get someone else to do what we say. Basically, if you don't do what we want, we're going to get someone else to work on this project. That's what I think happened with the reboot. And now it seems like for the 6th iteration of Ben 10, Man of Action, it looks like, in my opinion, based on these comments, is not going to be heavily involved in it. But this is all just speculation. There is no concrete information on what exactly is happening with the next iteration of Ben 10. But one thing I might add is I do think that the next iteration is going to take a more serious look at Ben. Whether it returns to the original continuity or not, I don't know. But I do think it's going to be a more dark, a more serious version of Ben. Reason I say this is because the reboot was a success financially. It was popular with kids, the toy line was selling well, but over the past year or so, year and a half, they haven't been selling as much toys. They haven't been releasing new toys, which tells me that the sales of the reboot started to decline. So maybe now they want to take Ben 10 in a different direction, plus which fact we see Cartoon Network is now greenlighting shows such as Batman Caped Crusaders, which is a dark and serious version of Batman. It's going to be action oriented from what we can tell, and so I'm speculating that possibly the next iteration of Ben 10 is going to take a more dark, serious, action oriented route like the old Ben 10 that we all know and love. But anyways, leave a comment in the comment section below what you think is going to happen for the next iteration of Ben 10. Are you looking forward to it? Do you wish Ben 10 would just end at this point? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.